Well, greetings to you. As I think most subscribers know, my wife and I have a small holding in the East Riding of Yorkshire. Um, so we've just got a few acres with a few bits and pieces. Horses, it used to be mainly. It seems to be mainly dogs these days, but anyway, leaving that aside. But obviously, living in a part of the world we do and the lifestyle that we now have, we do actually watch the sky because we are dependent a little bit on weather and some of our activities, as you can well imagine. So we're watching the sky and we see and have seen what has been going on for some time. Trails. And of course, I've been labeled as a conspiracy theorist, even by some of my own subscribers, and I don't know what I'm talking about, and the whole thing's absolute nonsense. Well, of course, I know that most of you watching will have seen these for yourselves. You can't see it so clearly in big cities because you can't see the sky quite so clearly for the simple reason there are tall buildings in the big cities. So you don't get a particularly good view of the sky. And of course, in cities, the air is not so clear. But all of this you know. Now, the government has now decided that they're going to put this to Parliament and suggest it's experimental. Well, we know it's been experimented on now for several years. So that is just yet another government lie. And it was the previous government as well, of course. So they're going to put it to Parliament to ratify it as well. So the noddy dogs in Houses of Parliament will nod it through, and there will be more chemicals and metals sprayed into the atmosphere above our little island, which of course it will make no difference to global warming or cooling or anything else. In order to save, and I use the government's words, runaway global warming, all of which we know is nonsense. There is not runaway global warming. As you can see, it's April. I've just popped out into the garden to get something, and I'm heavily woolly pull it up. Well, okay, it's only late April. I understand that, but the atmosphere and the weather is no different, really, in any great shakes to what it has been for hundreds and hundreds of years. Bit warmer now, perhaps, than it was 150 years ago, and a bit cooler than it was perhaps in the Middle Ages. All of which you can find out, of course, just by googling it up. But Google the numbers, not the opinion. You don't need amateur opinion from the likes of Ed Miliband, who I saw on television this morning, actually tried to make the case that a 75% super tax on energy companies' profits does not affect the price of our energy. It is seriously retarded, isn't it? It would be funny if it wasn't, of course, so serious, and we continue to pay the highest energy prices for our manufacturing industries and our domestic electricity in the world. But you know all that. I've said it before, but you don't need me to tell you that kind of thing. Now, of course, it also begs the question, why are we putting millions and millions of subsidies into solar panels in this country if we're going to dim the sun? You couldn't invent it, really, could you? These people are so criminally stupid. It's unbelievable. But of course, it's not them. It's people who are pulling their strings, and it's money changing hands behind the scenes, so on and so forth. Now, I'd like to know, where are all the greeny weenies? All right? Where are the people who want us to drive electric cars? Where are all the people who are terrified of the atmosphere and so on and so forth? What I don't understand is this system will send chemicals and metals to the earth. They will fall out of the sky. It's a form of pollution. It's massive pollution. I mean, in the days, the only thing that dimmed the sun back in years ago was when we were coal-fired. Everything was coal-fired. And in the early 50s, before the Clean Air Acts came in, and I was just about, remember some of those, I was 5 or 6 years old. Yes, the sun was dimmed. There was fog. You couldn't see the sky at all because of coal dust and coal soot and coal smoke. And we're going back to that now. You couldn't invent it. We're doing it deliberately. And it will go through Parliament, and they will then say it's been ratified by Parliament, and therefore everybody is perfectly happy with it. Well, we're not happy. Where are Friends of the Earth? Where are all these greeny weeny charities, of course, which are taking money from government, which is why they keep stum. Where's the free press? Where's the BBC? This is appalling. This is disgraceful. It's dangerous. It's ghastly. But nobody's actually saying anything. How much longer is this lunacy going to go on? Sometimes I think perhaps there has to be civil war. We can't seem to get rid of these people in an electoral system. I don't know. What do you think? Do tell me. I know you will.